In the landscape of male archetypes, the Sigma male stands apart, not just in behavior, but in something far more fundamental, how his mind actually works. While society often misinterprets his quiet independence as aloofness or social awkwardness, those who look closer discover something remarkable, a distinct cognitive architecture that gives him unique intellectual advantages. Today, we're uncovering the hidden IQ secrets of Sigma males, exploring how their minds are wired differently and why this gives them remarkable advantages in problem-solving, innovation, and understanding complex systems. 1. The outside-the-box default setting. Conventional intelligence often operates within established frameworks, applying known solutions to recognize problems, thinking within disciplinary boundaries, following established methodologies. The Sigma male's mind operates differently from the start. His default cognitive setting is literally outside the box. This isn't just a personality quirk, it's a fundamental thinking pattern. While others look for how a problem fits within existing categories, the Sigma male questions the categories themselves. While they ask, how can we solve this within our current framework? He asks, why is this our framework to begin with? This pattern of questioning assumptions before solving problems gives him access to solutions others never consider because they're not looking in the right places. This cognitive orientation explains why Sigma males often excel in fields requiring paradigm shifts rather than incremental improvements. They're natural first principles thinkers who can dismantle complex problems to their foundational elements and rebuild solutions from the ground up, often arriving at conclusions that seem counterintuitive but are fundamentally correct. 2. The observational processing power. Most people process about 30% of available information in any given situation. They focus on what's immediately relevant to their goals or what confirms their existing beliefs. The Sigma male's observational capacity operates differently. He processes closer to 80 to 90% of available information, often subconsciously. This heightened observational intelligence creates a remarkable advantage. He notices patterns others miss, detects inconsistencies in narratives, reads subtle nonverbal cues, and connects seemingly unrelated data points. This isn't just about paying attention. It's about having the cognitive bandwidth to process multiple information streams simultaneously without becoming overwhelmed. The secret lies in what cognitive scientists call reduced cognitive load from social performance. Because the Sigma male isn't simultaneously trying to manage his social image, seek approval, or perform for an audience, his mental resources are freed for pure observation and analysis. While others are dividing their attention between the content and the social game, he's fully focused on understanding the system itself. 3. The delayed response advantage. In our instant gratification culture, quick thinking is often mistaken for smart thinking. The Sigma male operates on a different timeline. He embraces what we might call the delayed response advantage. When presented with a complex problem or question, his first response is often silence or, "I need to think about that." This isn't uncertainty or lack of intelligence. It's cognitive sophistication. He understands that complex problems require incubation time, that the best solutions often emerge after the conscious mind has wrestled with them and then stepped away. This delayed processing leverages what cognitive scientists call the diffuse thinking mode, when the brain makes connections in the background while you're not actively focusing on a problem. The Sigma male intuitively understands this process and structures his thinking around it. While others are rushing to provide immediate, often superficial answers, he's allowing his cognitive processes the time they need to arrive at deeper, more substantial insights. 4. The pattern recognition superpower. Human intelligence is essentially pattern recognition, the ability to see connections between seemingly disparate elements. The Sigma male possesses what can only be described as a pattern recognition superpower, but it operates differently from conventional intelligence. While most pattern recognition follows established categories, this looks like that other thing in my field, the Sigma male's pattern recognition crosses categorical boundaries. He sees how a biological system resembles an economic model, how a mathematical concept explains a social dynamic, how a historical pattern repeats in technological development. This cross-disciplinary pattern recognition stems from two factors. First, his natural curiosity leads him to study diverse fields rather than specializing narrowly. Second, his comfort with solitude gives him the mental space to make these unusual connections without social pressure to stay within disciplinary boundaries. 5. The emotional detachment that enhances rational processing. Conventional wisdom suggests that emotional intelligence and rational intelligence are separate domains. The Sigma male demonstrates something more nuanced, that appropriate emotional detachment can actually enhance rational processing in specific contexts. Because his self-worth isn't tied to being right in social contexts, he can abandon hypotheses more easily when evidence contradicts them. Because he doesn't need social approval, he can follow evidence where it leads even when it's unpopular. Because he processes emotions internally rather than performing them socially, he has more cognitive resources available for pure analysis. This doesn't mean he lacks emotions or emotional intelligence. Rather, he has developed what psychologists call emotion differentiation, the ability to experience emotions without being controlled by them in decision-making contexts. This gives him a remarkable advantage in situations where others' thinking becomes clouded by emotional investment in particular outcomes. 6. The metacognitive awareness. Perhaps the most sophisticated of the Sigma male's cognitive secrets is his heightened metacognitive awareness, his ability to think about his own thinking processes. He doesn't just solve problems, he observes how he solves them, refines his methods, and develops personal algorithms for different types of challenges. This metacognitive skill means he's continuously improving his own intelligence. He learns from his thinking mistakes, identifies his cognitive biases, and develops strategies to work around his mental limitations. While others are applying the same thinking methods year after year, he's systematically upgrading his cognitive operating system. This explains why Sigma males often get smarter with age, while others plateau. They're not just accumulating knowledge, they're improving their fundamental ability to think, learn, and solve problems. 7. The systemic thinking orientation. Conventional intelligence often focuses on solving discrete problems within established systems. The Sigma male's intelligence operates at a different level. He thinks in systems rather than components. When presented with a problem, his mind automatically maps the entire system. The elements, their relationships, the feedback loops, the leverage points. He understands that changing one element affects the entire system, so his solutions consider secondary and tertiary consequences that others miss. This systemic intelligence makes him particularly valuable in complex modern environments where simple cause and effect thinking leads to unintended consequences. He's the person who asks, "And then what will happen?" 3 steps beyond where others stop thinking. The Sigma male's intelligence represents what we might call unconventional genius, a cognitive style optimized for understanding complexity, recognizing non-obvious patterns, and developing innovative solutions rather than excelling at conventional tests or social games. His cognitive advantages aren't about having a higher IQ score in the traditional sense, but about having a differently configured intelligence, one that prioritizes depth over speed, understanding over performance, and systemic thinking over component-level problem solving. These hidden IQ secrets explain why Sigma males often achieve breakthrough insights in their fields, why they can solve problems that stump others for years, and why their quiet presence often belies remarkable cognitive power. They're not just thinking differently, they're thinking on a different level entirely. In a world that increasingly values quick answers over deep understanding and social intelligence over substantive thinking, the Sigma male's cognitive style represents a precious resource. The kind of intelligence that doesn't just solve existing problems, but redefines what problems are worth solving in the first place. If you want to understand more about how this unique cognitive style manifests in everyday life, I recommend watching our video. 7 ways the Sigma male brain is wired differently.